This conference will now be recorded.
What do you mean by file handling? Look here. The operation on the files, right? So you have something called as file here, right? You have something called as file here, right? So what all things you can do it first, to do it you need to create a file. Okay, to do it you need to create a file. You will create a file, right? Before reading it you need to write into the file, right? This is one thing, you'll write it. Sorry, what do you do it, you'll write to the file, right? Write to the file. Later on after writing it you need to close the file also, right? These are all the normal operations. Okay, close the file also, you will close the file also. You will, like, somewhere in the along the line you will open the same file. Okay, open the same file. So you need to open the file also, you can open the file also. And what you can do it, you can read the content. You can do it, what, read the content. So these are all the operation which I am normally the file will come across. So you will create it, you will write it, you will close it, again you will open it, again you will read it. Okay, after that if you want to update or editing the file, right, you can do it. So you can tell it as what, update the file, right? So this is all the file operation, normal operation which normally you can think about it, right? These are all the main operation which you need to know about it. And you need to know how to create a file, how to delete a file, how to open a file, how to read a file, how to update a file, so and so. Okay, if you know so much, that's more than enough. That is what we needed. Okay, maybe like after that you can learn the regression, right? Regex, right? So that you can read a file, and in such a way that, like, wherever the content it is there, if the content matching the string, right? That is what the regex is, right? To handle the large file. So I need this data. So at that time what I gonna do it, at that time I'll be using that thing itself. Got it? Okay. Take down this one. Okay, to create, read, update and delete file. To create, to read, to update and delete file. Okay, the key function for working with file in Python is, the key function for working with the file in Python is open. OPEN, open. So this is the key function. Okay, the open function takes two parameter. The open function takes two parameter. Open function takes two parameter. Here one is, it takes file name. It takes file name. Second one, it takes mod. Which mod it is, to read, write, which mod it is. Okay, the key function working with file in Python is open function. The open function takes two parameters, file name and mod. Okay, next point right down. There are four different methods or mods for opening the file. There are four different mods. Okay, first mod you write it down. First mods. Okay, first mod you write it down. R, R, R. Okay, R. R is for, R is for what? Read, right? R is for what? Read. Okay, R is for what? Read. Okay, default value. It is a default value. Read, default value. Default value. It is a default value. Okay, opens a file for reading. Open a file for reading. Open a file for reading. Opens a file for reading. Reading. It gives an error. It gives an error if file does not exist. Okay, this gives an error if file does not exist. Okay, error if it does not exist, the particular file does not exist. Okay, next one, write it down. A. Next one, write it down. A. Okay, A is for append. Append in the sense what? Editing. Okay, like append in the sense what? One concatenating. That's it, right? Append. Opens a file for appending. Opens a file for editing. Open a files for appending. Okay, if file is not there, if file is not there or not exist, if the file is not exist, it creates it. Or else you can write as creates the file if it does not exist. It creates the file if it does not exist. Okay, you're opening the file for appending it. Okay, if the file is already there, it will append it. If file is not there, it will create the new one. That's it. Okay, done. R is done, A is done. Okay, the other one is W. Other one is W. W means what? Write. Write. Okay, writing the file, writing to the file. Okay, opens a file for writing. Open the file for writing. Creates the file if does not exist. Even here also it will does not, if it does not exist, it will create a file. In append also it will create a file. In write also it will create a file if does not exist. Okay, last one, it is X. X. Okay, X is to create a new file. Okay, create a new file. Creates the specified file. Creates the specified file. Creates the specified file. Creates the specified file. Okay, it returns an error. It returns an error if the file exists. अगर से वही file का नाम है तो it will throw the error. Okay, okay, once I will recall this. Look on this one for the reading purpose. If it is not there, then it will throw error. This is for appending purpose. If it is not there, that file is not there, it will create new one. A writing purpose, W is for writing purpose. If it is not there, it will also create a new file. Create, it will create a new file. If there is already a file, then it will throw an error. Okay, error for creating it. If it is already there, then it will throw an error. Done, guys? Any confusion over here? Till here, any confusion? Okay, there is one additional mode, guys. There is some additional mode. Okay, so if you want to take it on, you can take it on. Okay, one is B, other one is T. Okay, other one is B. Okay, so B stands for binary. If I want to read the binary file, B. If I want to do this one, the text file. Okay, default is text. Okay, default is what? Text file. Okay, default is text file. It is the text mode. T is nothing but text mode, and this is nothing but what? Binary mode. Okay, for example, if I want to use images, okay, if I want to store it in maybe like data science, everything, all the things, image processing, okay, at the time I'll be using binary file itself. Okay. Yeah. Okay, always remember, whenever you open the file, whenever you open the file, you need to close the file. Okay, that is a good habit to do that. Got it? Always you should do it. Okay, if you open the file, at the last you need to close the file. Is that okay, guys? Okay. Okay, shall we look onto the programming now? Let's go for programming now. Okay, let's go for programming. Okay, so what I do is like I'll tell it as f is equals to, I'll just tell it as like open. This is the main function, open. Until open, look onto here, guys. I want to give the file name. I need to give the mod, this buffering, encoding. There are many things. Okay, close fd true and open er none. Okay, open a file and return the stream. Okay, rises an OS error upon the condition, whatever it is, right? So let's discuss on the file and mode. Okay, that's more than enough. Okay, a file I will give it something like this. A file I will give it might be like I'll tell it as like abc dot text. I'll tell it, right? abc dot text, I'll tell it, right? So and I will give it like this itself. Okay, by default it is nothing but read mode, right? By default it is what is that? It is a read mode. So what I'll do it, I'll enter this. Okay, I'll just tell it as like f. I have this f mode that is nothing but created. Okay, so now what I can do is like I can go here. I can check for the abc dot text. Okay, so I'll just tell it like abc dot text. Look onto here. Go here. Oh, this is not the file created. Okay, wait a second. Wait a second. Again, I will create some other thing. A1, B1, I'll create it. Okay, A1 and B1, I'll create it. Right? So what is this? Like it is showing the error. Why it is showing the error, guys? Because the read thing is something like that, right? The default value is what? A reading. You're reading it, right? The default value is what? Reading it. Okay, whenever you create for the reading, okay, what happens? Opens a file for reading, error if the file does not exist. Okay, this file is not existing yet, whereas abc.text, it was there, right? To create this, what I need to do it, I want to tell it as x. I'll create it. Oh, x. Okay, x, I want to put it in the single inverted commas. Sorry, I'll put it in the x. Right now I am created this file. Okay, so this file is a different one, right? So now I'll go and search it. What is the file name? A1B1, right? So I'll come here. I'll just tell as A1B1 dot text. Look onto this. Look onto this. Look onto this. This file is created. The empty file is created, right? So much you got it. Got to know about it. So much you got it. So much you got it. So much you got it. Okay, take them this much. First one, whatever I want to do it, I want to create the file, right? I wanted to create the file. We have created the file. That's it, done. It's done. Okay. So there is one method. There is one method. Closing the file. Okay. How do you close it? This file is open now. I'll just tell as f dot close. Okay. If I tell as close, it is closed. Right? So this function which you need to regularly need to use it. Okay. Regularly need to use it. Okay. For example, if I tell it as f, the same thing it will happen. Now, if I again want to read this file, right? What I need to do it, I need to tell it as f. I want to tell it as what? Like I want to read it, right? So there is one method called as f dot read. It is there. Okay, read. Okay, when I read this, okay, what I'm getting it, input operation on closed file. Okay, it is actually closed it. I can cannot read it on the closed one, right? So this file is closed and you're telling to read it. Book is closed and you're telling to read it, right? So to before that, what I need to do it, I want to open the file, right? I want to open the file. How do I open the file? I'll tell it as f is equals to, I'll just tell it like open, right? Open, I'll tell it as what? I'll tell it as what? Which file I want to open it? I want to open A1, B1. I want to pass the file name and I'll tell it as text. What I want to write it, I want to read it, right? I want to read it. So I'll pass this read one. Okay, I'll enter this. Okay, now after that, f dot read, I will tell it. F dot read, I will tell it. So whether I'm reading it, yes, it is a empty file, right? It is a empty file. So much you got it? So much you got it? So much you got it? Okay. Now there is also a method called as a write, guys. Okay, there is also a method called as what? Write file. Okay, there is also a method called as what? Writing to the file. Okay. So this, since it is empty, I'll just tell it as f dot. I'll just tell it as write. Okay, I'll just tell it as what? Write. Before reading it, I want to do it right. Okay. So I'll come here. You can see this here. What I can pass is I can pass the parameters here. Wait a second, guys. I'll just open this one here. Look on here. So what I can do it, I can pass the text here, right? I can tell it as I'll just tell it as I am Mibweb. I am Mibweb, I'll tell it. Okay, so I'll pass it like this, right? So what is it doing it? It is giving me one exception. What is this exception? IO unsupported operation, not writable. Why it is not writable? Because I haven't given the permission to the file. I've given only read permission over here, right? I have given only what? Read permission over here. Okay, if I want to give the write permission, what I need to do it, guys? What I need to do it, right? I want to do it something like this, right? I want to go here. I want to tell it as I want to write the permission. I want to give the write permission. I'll come here. I will do it as something like this. Now I'm writing. It is returning number of character, maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? 12 thing is done. So that is what it is returning it. Is that okay? Is that okay? Okay. Now if I go and search the file, okay, if I go and search the file, I'll open this file. Still it is empty. Why it is empty? It is not updated in my file, right? Now what I need to do it before updating it, I will close this file. F dot close, I'll tell it. Okay, after updating it, I will close this file. I'll enter this. Now I will search this file. Okay, I will search this file. Now I'll come here and I'll open this. Whether it is updated, guys, I am Mibweb, right? It's updated, right? So it's going over there and it is getting updated over there. Got it? This is all about the writing to the file. Take it down. Okay, guys, if I want to write it, if I want to write it one more line, okay, can I write it like this? F dot write like this, F dot write. Okay, F dot write, I will tell it, and I will can I tell it as like I am mad. Okay, can I write it like this? Can I write it like this? Yes or no? Tell me that. Can I write it like this? Like I am mad. No, why I cannot write it like that? Why I cannot write it like that? File is what? Closed. Okay, it is telling that input value error related input output operation on a closed file. You are doing input output operation, read and write is an input output operation, and you're doing on the closed file. What I need to do it, I want to read it, right? So I want to write, I want to open it. So I'll open this. Can I write it now? Can I write it now? Can I write it now? What happens if I write it like this? 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 It will overwrite the value. That's really right. Okay, really right. Okay, so always remember, have a note, have a note. So right will get overridden. Okay, so if you want to get updated, okay, you always need to f dot close. Okay, for example, look onto here, guys. So if I go here and if I open it, here it is, still it is I am Mibweb, but I have changed to I am mad. Okay, it is not getting updated, right? Always remember, I want to use what? I want to use what? F dot close. I want to use what? F dot close. Okay, F dot close. Okay, so if I come here, and if I see the text, can you see this? I am mad. It is overriding the text, right? It is overriding the text, right? It is overriding the text. Okay, always remember, like when you use F dot close, you should always close your file. In some cases, due to buffering, you should always close your file. In some cases, due to buffering, changes made to a file, may not show until you close the file. You should always close your file. In some cases, due to buffering, changes made to a file may not show until you close the file. May not show until you close the file. That is what we have seen it. Right? Now, if I want to do append, guys, what I need to use it? I want to use, what is that? I want to use it what? X, right? I want to use it what? X. What is this? File exist ABC1 text. What is this? File existing error. Okay, fine. Oh, to this, it is for creating a file, right? It is for creating a file. So already created, it is already created. And that when I use X, I will get what? Error. Okay, that is what we have written it, and we got to know about it. Okay, so what I need to use it? I need to use it A as to append it, right? So I'll tell us F dot. What are you gonna be writing it now? What are you gonna be writing it now? F dot what? Do you have append function some separate like that? Nothing like that. Okay, you have write itself. Okay, you have write itself. But what is the specific you have given it here? A, right? Right, A. So what I'll do it now, I'll just tell us I am Mibweb. I'll tell it. I am Mibweb. I'll tell it. Right? I'll enter this. Right? So if I tell it as, if I go here, whether there is updation, guys, whether there is updated, anything updated? No, it is not updated. Why it is not updated? Because I haven't closed it. So what I'll do it now, I'll just tell us F dot close. I'll tell it. F dot close. I'll tell it. Right? So if I go here, if I see it, look onto here, I will tell us like, what is that like? A1 B1 dot txt, right? Can you see this? I am mad, I am Mibweb, right? It is appending it now. This one is appended it, right? That is what I'll be using it. Done, guys? Take it down. Okay. You guys done? Okay. Now can I perform on the f read? Can I tell as f dot read? Can I tell as f dot read? Right? Can I tell as f dot read? I cannot tell it because I haven't opened the file. On the close file, I'm doing the operation, right? I will open the file. Okay, what is the mode I want to give it? I want to give it R as the mode. All right, I will have to read it. Okay, so I'll just tell as f dot read. I will tell it f dot read. I will tell it. So I'll enter this. All right, what I'm reading it, I'm getting it em. I am Mibweb, right? If I want to do it like this, okay, if I want to do the text file, so I'll just tell it as T here. I'll come here again. I will tell it as read. So it is normally text one. Okay, so if I want to do it for binary, there is small changes over here. So I'll just tell as B, and I'll come here. I'll tell it as read here. So you can see this for the binary file, you have B at the beginning. Okay, that indicates what? It is a binary file. If you don't have anything, that indicates what? Normally it is a text file. Default it is. Okay, so this is how you'll read text. This is how you'll read the binary. Done, guys? Okay, these are all the methods. To read, you know the method. To write, you know the method. To close, you know the method. Okay, for deleting, there is one thing I'll be telling it. Okay, I'll just complete the reading thing. Okay, guys, if I want to write it in a multiple line, what I need to do it? I want to write it in a multiple line. This is a single line, right? I want to write it in a multiple line. How do I write it, guys? So I'll just tell as f dot open. I want to append it. I'll just tell as append it, right? So I'll just tell as f dot write. When I write it, guys, when I write it, I'll use what? Triple inverted commas, right? So I am man engineer. I'll enter this and I'll let as I know my like C, C++, Java. Okay, so I'll just like this. I'll close this. Right now, I'll enter this. Right, so 50 characters I have written it. So that is what it is doing it. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll read it, but it is saying that only the not readable, only the append is done. Right, I want to give the permission now. What is the permission I want to give it here? And to give the permission called as a read permission. I'll tell it as like this. Right, I will read the function. I'll be having like this. Okay, so what is this? It is having a slash n over here, slash n over here. That's fine, no problem. Right, that's fine, no problem. So you are reading it, and it is also reading what? A slash in a new line, right? So for example, guys, if I want to read, if I tell it as like for read itself, I can even tell it as a parameter. You can see this here, parameter you have it. So you can pass the size here. Okay, if I tell it as size 10, okay, if I tell it as size 10, what is it doing it? Okay, it has been already written it. I'll start it from the beginning. I'll start it from the beginning. I'll just tell it as f dot read. Okay, f dot read. If I tell it as like 5, okay, if I tell it as 5, okay, it will read first 5 characters. It will read first 5 characters. I space am and space. It is reading it. Okay. So again, I will tell it as next 5. Okay, next 5 I'll tell it. So again, from here, the cursor is here. From here, it will read it again from here. 5 characters. Okay, same thing, it goes on like this. Okay, again, if I tell it as like 10 characters, it will read 10 characters. It goes on like this. Getting my point? This is just optional for the read. Okay, why it was coming empty here? Because the cursor was pointing to the end. That's the reason it was coming end here. That's the reason I again gave the permission called as a read, so that the cursor will point it to from here. The cursor will point from here. Okay. Okay, so you can tell it as something called as, there is a function called as f dot read line. Okay, read line. Okay, read line. Okay, read line, you can tell it read line. So what is this? I'm an engineer, right? So till slash n, it will read it, right? Again, you can tell it as next line. Okay, again tell it as I know programming. Again, you can call it as like this: I know C, C++ and Java. Read particular line, and next is it is empty. All right, you got to know how to read word by word, right? You got to know line by line. This is how you will be reading it. Okay, so again, if I open this file, I'll just tell as like f dot read line, So when I tell it as a read line, it has some parameters that it is passing it. I'll just tell that 3, right? So it is telling that that particular lines, 3 words I can read it. Okay, so I'll just tell it as again. From there itself, it is reading other lines, other contents, right? So I'll go for like this, empty it. I'll read till here, right? So again, if I want to do it, I want to read it 3 1. So I'll come up here and I'll read it like this. IK, the 3 characters, right? So if I remove this for completely, it is remaining I know programming, right? So that was the line I was. Where 5 means it is taking 0 1 2 3 4. I'm passing what? Indexing here. It starts from 0, right? Right, 0 1 2 3 4, like this. Got it? Got it. Okay. Okay. Okay, look on here, guys. Okay, so if I want to read it like this, I can read it line by line. Okay, something like this, guys. I'll open this. I can apply simple thing called as for loop. I can apply it for x in f. I will tell it for x in f. I will tell it. I can write it as read read line. I can tell it. Okay, for x in x, I'll just tell us like x here. I can read it like this. Okay, so I can just tell it as like this to read line by line. Okay, I can also do it like this. Okay, for x in f, I'll be reading like this. The line by line, it is read. Okay, either you can do it like this or else you can write as for, maybe like read line. Okay, okay, for the same thing you can write it like this. Since there are 3 lines for x in range of 3, you can tell it. Range in 3, you can tell it, and you can tell it as what happened for x in range of 3, you can tell it. 3, you can tell it. So 0 1 2, right? So you can tell it as what? Okay, you have already read it, right? So again, I want to open it. What is that? How to open it? I'll just tell as f. Oh, wait a second, guys. So what I need to do it first, I will open it. F. Okay, so I'll just tell as control previous command previous. I'll come here. I'll just read it. Oh, I'll read it. I'll just tell us like for x in range of 3, I'll tell it. X in range of 3, I'll tell it. F dot read line, I'll tell it. Right? So I can do it like this. Right? In this order also can do it. I'll simply I'll tell as for loop. Okay, this is the one and the same. right? So this is the thing I can tell it. If I read it like this, I'll get it empty, right? So I'll be getting it empty. Why it is empty? Because I have written till here, right? So it is pointing to the empty location now. So that's the reason it is getting empty. If I want to run this again, I want to open the file. Again, open the file. Again, open the file. Again, I want to run this. So at that time, I'll be getting the content. Done. Take down this. This is all about the reading. Okay, this is all about what? Reading. This is all about your reading the file. Okay, so if you look onto the file now, the file right now is a1b1, right, dot text. Look onto this is how it is written it. Okay, in a file you will be writing like this. This is how it will be contained is there, line by line it is stored. Done, guys? Then last one, okay, something like this. I'll come to here, something here. Okay, now what I need to do it, I have you have seen it, something called as reading it. You know read it, you know write it, right? You know close it. All right. So in the write itself, you have creating a file. You have it. You can also create the file. Sorry, writing, right? W and what is that? Append A, right? For reading, what it is? For reading, R it is. R permission you want it. For closing, you don't want any permission. All right. Some permission is missing to create it. All right. So before that, you need to have a create the function. To create a function, you will use it ax here, and you will be using for this everything. You'll be using what? Open function. All right. You'll be using open function. And if you want to read it, so you will use the read function. Read function in option you have something called as text. Right. So for writing, you have writing, and you need to pass it what? Text. Here it is size, right? Here it is size. Here it is text, right? Here it is text. Done. So last one is you need to delete the file, right? You need to delete the file. How you can delete the file? All right. You want to delete the file from your OS, right? How to delete the file from your OS? Guys, at last you remind me. I want to tell something very important. Okay, I haven't told you. Okay, one thing I want to tell it. Okay, I will tell it now itself. Okay, so when you want to create on the specific file, okay, for example, you have opened this file, and you have written what? A file name dot text, right? If you want to put it in a particular directory, you can tell the path name. Okay, for example, how do you tell it? If you want to create it in a D folder, you can put it a colon here, and you can tell it as like this. If you want to create it in a D folder, I want to create one file over there, my file. I'll tell it as my file. I'll put it slash, and then I will tell it as abc.txt. Okay, I can tell it as like this. You can create it like this. Got it? So in the particular tab, you can tell it as fully qualified path also. You can give it, nothing to worry about it. Is that okay? Is that okay? After that, you can tell it which are the mode is. So what are the mode? R mode, write mode, create mode, whatever it is. Okay, done, guys. This is one thing which you need to remember it. Okay, that is the only thing which I need to update it. That's it. Okay. So now coming here, delete. Okay, last function, your last function delete. So once after you delete, that's more than enough. Okay. So to deleting thing, guys. Okay, I cannot use it something called as del. Okay, if I use del, it will delete that variable delf. It will delete that variable. It will not delete that. You know, it will not delete that. This one, what is that? Like 5. Okay, so again, it has a something called as a syntax error. Okay, sorry, del. I just said as what? F here. Right? It is deleting variable. That's it. But it is not deleting the file. Look on here. The file is still here itself. ABC here itself. I want to delete the file, and this is a OS operation. Okay, this is the OS operation. To do this, I want to import 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 OS. I want to import OS. Okay, in OS you have remove file. Okay, remove method. I'll just tell as remove, and I want to tell it as a file name. What is that file name? a1b1.txt. a1b1.txt. right? This is what I want to do it. Okay, so how do I do it? I'll come to OS and I want to remove it. OS dot remove a1b1 text. Now I'll enter this. Okay, now I will go and search for it. Okay, do you have the file, guys? You don't have the file now. Okay, it is showing like this. It is in the buffer memory a1b1. Do you have the file now? You don't have the file. Who deleted it? This function deleted it. Not only this function, whatever the file I have created here, I can delete everything. Got it? You can see it, right? Or all the files you have it here. Look on here, this files. I can delete all these files with the help of this one. Got it? Got it. Okay, to delete a file, you must import OS mode and run it os.remove. That's it, done. No, it will not take all the things in the OS. It is the operation related to the OS are there. Okay, you can operate the OS by this. All right. Okay, to check whether the file is existing or not. Okay, before deleting the file, I want to check whether the file is existing or not. Okay, so I'll just tell as os dot. I'll just tell as like path dot exist. Okay, exist. I will tell it exist whether it is exist or not. I'll just tell as like a1 b1 dot txt. I'll tell it, right? A1 b1 txt. What is it returning? It is returning true or false, right? It's returning true or false. If I tell it as like abc was there, right? So I'll just tell it as like abc. You can tell it as like abc. I'll enter this. It is there, right? It is there. So I'll go here and I'll check it out like this. And let us like abc dot abc. Oh, file abc dot txt. Look on here, guys. You have something here. Some files you have it related to the abc, right? Look on here. You have it here, right? You have it here, right? So you can delete in a proper order. You can write one proper syntax for this, or you can do it if you can tell it. If os dot path of abc exist, right? So what you can do it. Oh, okay, it is if, right? Okay, I can tell that like if. Okay, so I'll enter this. Okay, if it is so, then you delete it. os dot remove. I'll do it. Okay, os dot remove. I'll delete as which file I want to remove it. abc dot txt. I'll remove it. Right, a proper code we can write it. Okay, I'll come here. I'll write it as else. I'll just print it out. File not exist. Okay, so what is this? It is removed. Okay, so when I run this program, it is removed. I didn't have any messages, right? I didn't have many messages. I could have written here message. That's fine, no problem. I will enter this. Okay, again I'll enter this. Now what happens? File not exist because you have removed one time, right? You have removed one time. So this is what the code is for you. Take it out. Take it out, guys. Okay, all the Linux command. Okay, so you can write it over here. Okay, for example, look on here. If I want to delete the folder, okay, entire folder, if I want to delete it. Okay, for example, I'll just tell us like abc. Right, I have a folder here, right? There are like 3 items over here. Look on here, there are like 3 items. Okay, bin you have it, or something it has it, right? Cancel. I want to delete this folder, guys, right? I want to delete this folder. What I need to do it, I want to delete this entire folder, right? Entire folder. All right, there is something command called as rmdir, remove directory. Okay, there is a code in the Linux, right? Command there is in the Linux. Okay, that same thing I'll be using it here. Okay, so how do I do it? Same thing I'll be doing it. I'll just tell it as like this. Okay, so I'll just tell as like what I'll do it. I'll just tell as like os dot rmdir. I will tell it rmdir folder name. What is the folder name? It is nothing but abc, right? I'll enter this. Okay, error, no such directory of abc is fine. It is not found in that particular thing, but that's okay. Okay, so if I create it in that particular thing, okay, in that particular path, I can remove that, right? I can give the fully path, whatever the path you have it. All right, so if I go here, if I tell it has like abc, but it has like abc, I want to check it out in which path you have it this way, right? In which path you have it this way. Go to here, abc. abc is in some path, I don't know which path it is. abc is right. Okay, so I can go here to the path. Okay, so not to worry about it. Okay, so if you want to remove the directory, I'll just as rmdir. Okay, there are like other linux command which we have it. Okay, so in that perspective, you can go for it. Done. That is what it is, guys. That's done. So much if you know, that's more than enough. Okay, you might be getting a program something like this. Okay, so what is that like? Write to the file, and then you reverse the file, and then again you insert into the file. Okay, you will read inside the content. Some content you will read it. You need to reverse it. The string programming you are doing it, right? You need to reverse it, and then again you need to save inside the file, right? So you can do it in that order. Got it, guys? Got it. That's more than enough for today. See you at 8:30. See you at 8:30 with other things. Okay. Any queries with the files? Any queries with the files? Any kind of queries you have it, you can ask me. I'll just stop the recording.